So, a while back, put a video up talking about learning to just be still. I'm coming out Highway 65. It's Friday afternoon, off of work. Coming out 65, going to the range, and the speed limit's 55, and I'm doing 60 miles an hour. And people just pile it behind you, and they got to get in front of you. And it's like there's 2, 3, 4 trucks in front of me. They're all doing about 60. You know, I'm not really catching up, and I'm not really falling behind. So I'm assuming they're doing the same speed limit. And all these people got to get around me, and then they get up there and they got to get around the truck, and they get up there and they got to get around the thing. And what do you get out of all that stress on a 2-lane highway at 55 miles an hour where everybody's doing 60, and now you're doing 80, you're doing 85, you're doing 90. Heavy California Highway Patrol presence on that road. Everybody here knows this. Heavy presence. And not only are you doing 80 in the wrong lane, but the guys coming the other way that are just like you and have no patience are doing 80. Yeah, what are you doing 80 miles an hour on a 55 for? There's no point. You're going to stress out, and you're going to get there all at like 10 minutes faster than. Sit back, pop the cruise control on, put some cool tunes on, and kick back. You know, take it easy. You're gonna get there. I mean, if you run into somebody at 80 miles an hour, you're not going to get there. John, why are you bothering us and playing stupid music? Well, I got something cool to play with, and I was thinking it was going to be a little while before I got one of these. We took my father-in-law's AR out, and we got the whole thing put together the way that his buddy had it, the way Vince had it. Cool gun. Vince did a really good job putting that gun together. We got the whole thing put together with the sight and everything. We got out, we started to shoot it, and her dad can't see well enough to see what's going on. Oh man! So we put a Bushnell 3-9 Banner series scope on there, and I was going to pull the loophole off of the 22-250 and maybe get the turrets that adjust for, you know, the pre-adjusted. You got 1 to 5, and you can go out to 500 meters. We were going to get that, and then I started looking at the tube, and the light transmission through the loophole is not near as good as the light transmission through the Bushnell, believe it or not. And I've had that Bushnell since the late 90s. I've had that thing for a long time. I really didn't think that was going to be the case. And at 3 power, you can't hardly tell. You can tell a little bit, but at 9 power, you can really tell. The loophole does not put as much light through, and that's the problem. He's having trouble seeing. So, anyways, I asked him, "Can I use your red dot?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't even have a place to put it." So I got him all lined out. Me and Ben went out and got him sighted in last week. If there's some footage of that, I'll put it in here. They cut the road. This is great. I'll put it in there. If not, take my word for it. But I took the red dot, the Holosun, and I put it on the 22, and that's what we're coming to the range today to do, is sight that in and see how it runs. So that'll be cool. I'd put it on my AR, but I like my 4-minute aim point just fine. I don't see a need to change that. I'm not going to build another AR. I don't want another AR. I've thought about getting rid of the one I have because it's just too problematic in California. But I don't know. I got the little button to put in it. By the end of this month, I think we have to do that to be compliant. Get the bullet button out, put this thing in, so you have to break the action to drop the magazine. Anyway, it's all BS. Anyway, Ruger 1022 with a Holosun. I think it's a C51, 51, 52, or 50. I'll get it out and we'll look. And CU, I think. Who cares? Anyway, we're here. That's why the road's so rough. We're on the road going into the range. So we'll go over to the 22 range, I'll get it sighted in, and I'll show it off to you. You can see what's going on. I'll see you out there. So there's the sight, the new sight for the 1022. It's a Holosun HS515C-U. What's cool about this is it's a 2-minute dot with I think it's a 60 some, I can't remember. There's a circle around it. So, you know what? Let's see. Let's see if we can get this. You have to do both of them to turn it off and both of them to turn it on. So there you go. So that's about where your eye would be. That's the thing. The cool thing about it is it's solar powered. I'm gonna get out of that because you can't really see it. It's solar powered, so you can run it in battery mode or you can run it in solar mode. I'm not gonna go too in depth on the sight itself, but they're pretty heavy duty skookum. They're pretty affordable for being a good sight. Anyway, what I got to do is sight the thing in. Focus, autofocus, you're supposed to. I'm going to sight it in, and I'm going to spare you the torture of watching it, because man, that can take a bit. One of the cool things about it, though, that I'm kind of digging on, is the caps have they have this thing built into them on the outside. And that fits right in that slot. So it gives you a kind of a, they're even marked. Come on, dude. There you go. It fits in like that, and then you can make the adjustments. I think they're 1/4-minute clicks, if I remember right. They're 1/4-minute clicks, so yeah, you're up and down, and both caps have the same markings inside. Anyway, the U part of the designator on this is the shroud around these to protect them, which is kind of cool. But I don't know, that looks about appropriate to me for a 1022. So I'll get that sighted in, and then we'll talk about it a little more. Okay, so I'm getting really close to sighted in. I want to make a couple of observations here before I keep going. It's only take a second, and then we'll get it finished sighted in. This sucks. This sucks. I don't like this. I don't like fiddling with it. Good grief. See this? This is so difficult to get this stupid little thing lined up so that it, even if you pre-line it by sight, you still got to fiddle with it. I do not like this. There it goes. I'm not going to move that because I got that one on. This is left and right. This is up and down. So I don't like that system. It would be really neat if the caps had a magnet in them or something that would make them stick and stay. Yeah, I do not care for that. Don't care for that. The other thing I don't care for, and I can't really show you because this phone's not going to focus on it, is I am in the shade and I'm pointed at stuff in the sun. So what I have a problem with is when I come out here, the solar panel sees that I'm in the sun, and the solar panel adjusts it and makes it bright enough to see out there. Right? When I'm back here in the shade, shooting, I'm looking at what's bright, and I'm auto adjusted to not be bright. So the dot and the circle kind of wash out a little bit. It's not bad, it's not unlivable, and you can always switch it over to battery if you're having that problem. Excuse me. Man, oh man. I had filet of fish for lunch, and I always get really bad heartburn, but I really like that once in a while, so I eat it anyway, and I shouldn't. But anyway, all right, we're almost zero. Those are a couple of things that I don't care for. The solar panel in the shade, shooting at something in the light, kind of washes it out because it's too dim. That's totally fixable. You just switch over to battery power and, you know, run it at whatever brightness you want to run it at. If you're at the range like I am today, I don't think that's a problem. If you're out hunting, I can see where that would be an annoyance. The good thing is the battery in this will last like 50,000 hours. So if you change it out once a year, you're out a couple bucks. And you never have to worry about it ever running out, ever. It'll run for like 2 or 3 years if you just leave it on. So I was mistaken in thinking that the solar panel charges that battery. It does not. It will operate the optic in lieu of the battery, or even without it, apparently. But it does not charge that battery, so you're not charging it just because you're out in the sun. That's fine. That's not a problem. I think this thing would be a lot bulkier if that were the case, because putting a charging system in there would be an obnoxious waste of space, especially when you've got a battery that you can leave on for 2 or 3 years. You can leave this on for like 2 or 3 years, depending on the brightness settings. So, or you can run it on the solar panel. So I don't know. That's a little annoyance, I think. I don't like those caps. But once you get it sighted in, why would you ever mess with it again? Especially on a 22. And if you watched my comp ML2 video, then this is a 2-minute dot. That's a 4-minute dot. I don't know exactly how I would sight this in on the AR. But if you're putting it on an AR, that circle's got to mean something. I don't know what. I don't care. I'm not going to use it for that. It's going to stay on this 22. Maybe I'm going to be doing some things to the 22. If I do, we'll make videos about it. If I think to do it. Anyway, a couple of complaints. I'm going to finish sighting in, and then we'll get some footage shooting. I kind of like it. For the ease. I've never had a red dot on a 22 before, so this is going to be cool. All right, guys, I'll get right back with you here in just a second. All right, so I got another thing I want to kind of gripe about a little bit on this particular site. Then I'm going to quit griping because overall I like it. This particular one has the kill flash, the little honeycomb in the front. I'm not going to point the rifle that way. I'm the only one out here, but still. I don't care for that. Anything that reduces light transmission through the optic is no bueno. I don't care for it. I'm not using this to shoot at people, so that's probably not something I need on this gun. If I were out sniping and hunting people, I wouldn't be using a red dot anyways. I think that kill flash thing on a red dot sight is a waste. I'm sure there's somebody somewhere who has a need for that somehow. I ain't that guy. I don't care much for it. Other than that, it is solid as heck. It's very easy to throw up and have that there. And if you shoot, you know, if you can shoot iron sights quick, you can shoot a red dot quicker. If you're slow on irons, a red dot will make you not slow. I really like that. I put the cheek pad from the M1A, I took it off, I put it on this gun to bring me up a little more in line with it. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So maybe a little more padding underneath in there. The nice thing is you have this pouch. You can put morale patches there. It's not something I would really do. Unless you saw the Strategic Homeland Division patch on the backpack. That is something I would do. I don't know. I'm not going to do it to my rifle, though. There'll be a cleaning kit in there and maybe a spare magazine. So that's what I'd probably just a cleaning kit. I'll put a cleaning kit in there. But yeah, all right, let's shoot this and wrap it up and go home. I'm sure you guys got better things to do than listen to me talk. I like this sight. I like the dot for a 22. I think it's fantastic. I'll put the link in the description for this site on Amazon, and I'll put a link for a site that I think would be a little bit better without the caps, without the kill flash, and probably a little bit better on the turrets, the one that I'm thinking of. And I don't know the number of it offhand, sorry about that. But the link will be down below. This is pretty cool though. I've never had a red dot on a 22. I'm really digging this now that I've got it sighted in. I've got a couple magazines sighted in, so here we go. Those misses are my fault. I'm squeezing the trigger before I've got the dot lined up. There's a little square here. It's about that big around. That's a hit. That little square. You are sitting on my rangefinder. It's right there. I'll put a note. All right, cat. There's a steel cutout. You're familiar with this range if you watch any of my videos. Steel cutout of a cat right out there. It's 30-some yards. I don't know. Here we go. That's my fault. Yeah. Good shots. I need to slow down. All right, I'm going to go out to 100. See if you can see this. You probably can't. All right, well, you'll be able to hear it. I'm going out to 100. And I'm going to go out to 150. John, why do you need to shoot a 22 out to 150? I probably don't. Hit. Like that. Hit. That's elbows on the table. That's offhand 150. And back to 100. Well, why are they missing? Yep. I've got the dot on there. I hope it's not moving, because good Lord, that was a lot of work getting it sighted in. Anyway, whew. I like that combination. I need to lighten the trigger on that gun a little. I'm thinking about changing the coloration, making the stock like a rubberized coated wood, tan, desert tan, probably. I'll flat black all the black parts and desert tan the stock. Probably trim it down just a little bit. I can't understand why I'm missing at 100 there. I know that thing's not moving. It's on there rock solid. Probably something I'm doing wrong with the trigger, to be honest. I've complained about it before. The trigger on these things are flipping atrocious. I do not care for a 1022 trigger at all. And I'm not the only one to say that. A lot of guys I'm talking to will say that too. But anyway, yeah. Oh, hey, here we go. Do we eat tonight? Cat. Let's go for the cat. The one I already shot. Ha! We eat. 35 yards. First shot. So, yeah, I'm digging having that red dot on there. That is just too cool. I've already put a couple of little nicks and dings on it. It's got a little bit of wear. The finish on it is it's anodized aluminum, obviously. It's already got a little bit of wear in some of the edges. It's not that big of a deal, I don't think. You can use sight black to touch that back up. I don't think you need to. But overall, it's pretty cool. Oh, I was going to go over the functions on it real quick. the kill flash thing, the honeycomb in the front, I think that's not really, it's kind of bugging me in the low light like this. The targets that are falling into shadow, we're already starting to have trouble picking up the edges. What in the heck is going on there? There we go. Let's go back out to 100. There we go. I'm not being stable enough. That's my problem. There's some tiny little targets here that I'm hitting, and not only that, it's Friday afternoon. The whole range, the only rounds on the range, because it's all been painted, the only rounds are mine. That's just too cool. Anyway, oh yeah, function. We're going to go over function. There's two here. If you push them both, that turns the optic off. So it's off now. If you push them both again, they're on. If you push the plus in solar mode, it doesn't do anything. The plus and minus don't do anything. In solar mode, the solar panel, and see, I'm still in the shade. The sun's falling that way. The solar panel decides how bright it is. If you hold the plus down for 3, 4, 5 seconds, you go into battery mode. Now you're just in the battery mode. Plus and minus now affect the brightness of the scope, the dot, and the circle. It's really bright right now. I wonder if that would even be better then. Oh man, that looks a lot better. That's a big difference. I'm going to try 10 more like that, and I'll tell you right now if I like that or not. That's a huge difference on that. Come on. As the light's starting to get dimmer and dimmer outside, the targets are getting a little bit harder to see, so I got to figure out how to get that kill flash out. I know there's a way. It's got slots so you can screw it out. I got to get that out of there because I really dislike that. I can't see good enough anymore to get around it, especially since the light's starting to go down. So, all right, 10 more. Let's go for the cat. Oh, wow. That's nice. Let's go for 100. I like that. Oh. The little thing. Nice. That is sweet. That is sweet. I really like that. Couple more, then we'll call it quits. That made a big difference right there. Okay, back to function. Dump that round. We don't need that. I figured it was empty. I didn't need to do that. The minus, when you're in battery mode, the plus and minus quick pushes brighten and dim the red dot. Obviously, that's a big deal, as you just saw. So if you hold the plus down for, I think it's 3 or 5 seconds, it will take you back to the solar panel mode. If you hold the minus down, it gets rid of the circle. So you just have the dot. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it went. So about 3 seconds, because I know I'm counting fast. I'm going to put 10 more rounds. I know I said that was it, but man, 12 minutes. We gotta wrap this up, guys. I'm burning through my memory on my SD card and probably boring the piss out of you guys. Plus, too, the daylight's just about gone. They're going to close the range here in a little bit. If you're ever in Kern County, you make it up to Five Dogs. Range are open Thursday, Friday. No, not Thursday. They're closed Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They're open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Sun up to sundown. At noon, they make hot dogs. You've seen that. So, hot dogs are fantastic out here. You guys do a really good job on that. Okay, just the dot. I'm going to brighten it one more. Ooh, that's too bright. There's a point where it's so bright that it washes out, and the edges of the dot, I threw that shot. That was me on that trigger. There's a point, quit talking and shoot now. There's a point where the dot gets so bright that the edges wash out, and that's on my AR, that 4-minute dot. That's a big deal on that, because I count on that dot being crisp. Okay, here we go. Cat. Nice. Small circle. There we go. Nice. 100 yards. Nope, I threw that down. I'm out. Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna cut it out. So that's just a dot, a 2-minute dot on battery power. If I hold the minus again, 3, that brings the circle back, and then if I hold the plus, 3, okay, it just got dimmer because now it's on battery power, or not battery power, solar panel. And I'm going to turn it off. So, there we go. Alright, that's 0. That is awesome. I'm going to come back out again, and I'm not going to spend time shooting a video this time. I'm going to come back out of van and shoot, probably 400 or 500 rounds through it, just to, get myself dialed in, make some minor adjustments, because I think I'm just a little bit to the left. But anyway, that Holosun on that 22, that's pretty awesome. I don't know if you can tell. SR22, 1022, kind of a Ruger fan. I like the Rugers. I don't like most of Ruger's semi-automatic pistols, but that's neither here nor there. I'm getting along with this rifle a lot better, even with the trigger being what it is. And I'm going to fix that, I think. Wolf springs and a polished sear and all that stuff. So we'll see what we do. I don't know. Maybe a drop in. Okay? But anyway, yeah, big fan of that Holosun. That's a cool sight. It's got a few things I don't care about, but by and large, overall, I really like that sight on that. That's just too cool. Alright guys, I'll catch you on the next one. That's 16 minutes, just this section of the video. That's too long. Alright, we'll see you later. Catch you on the next one. Have a good one. And happy Friday. Nice. Cat. Nope, I threw that. Nice cat.